Well, the shockwaves from the Harvey Weinstein scandal continue, but sexual misconduct scandals are tainting more and more institutions, including the revered heart of democracy, Westminster in London. Today, Britain's Defence Minister resigned in the wake of allegations against him. And the Prime Minister, Theresa May, has ordered an inquiry into accusations against her deputy. But there'll be no political mileage to be made for Britain's opposition because the Labor Party too is to investigate claims of sexual misconduct in its ranks. The World Today's Anne Barker has been following events.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. On the question of the sex harassment...
It's not Hollywood, but the sex abuse scandal that began with Harvey Weinstein last month has opened a floodgate that now threatens to engulf politics in Westminster.
In recent days, allegations have been made about MPs' conduct, including my own.
One of the most senior ministers in the British government, Defence Secretary Michael Fallon, has resigned after admitting he behaved inappropriately towards a woman half his age.
Many of these allegations have been false. But I realise that in the past I may have fallen below the high standards that we require of the armed forces that I have the honour to represent. I have reflected now on my position in government and I am therefore resigning as Defence Secretary.
It's the latest in a series of allegations of sleaze and sexual misconduct by men in power in Britain. Just yesterday, the UK's first Secretary of State, Damien Green, denied allegations splashed in the Times newspaper that he'd made unwanted advances towards an academic.
Is it right that Downing Street investigate you?
All the allegations are completely false.
Prime Minister Theresa May has ordered a Cabinet Office investigation into the claims surrounding her deputy. But in the last 48 hours, more allegations have emerged. A Labor activist says she was raped by a senior member of her party and warned not to report it. Another anonymous staffer says she was sexually assaulted by an MP while on a work trip. And a former Labor intern, James Greenhalgh, says he was assaulted by a former MP 5 years ago.
This Member of Parliament, he put his arm around me, but then his hand slowly went down and, he sort of took advantage of that situation. I didn't know really what to do. It sounds stupid, but I can remember just going home and just having a shower, and it wasn't like I'd been raped or anything like that, but I felt violated still, you know, it was awful.
Prime Minister May is under pressure to do more.
And I've written to all party leaders, inviting them to a meeting early next week so we can discuss a common, transparent, independent grievance procedure for all those working in Parliament.
Theresa May has told the House of Commons it's time to find new ways of dealing with allegations of sexual misconduct.
We need to ensure that those cases are dealt with in a way that people can have confidence on both sides that they will be properly investigated. That means, and I want to see, a good process within this Parliament so that people feel they do not have to go to a party political process in order to have their allegations considered.
But many unverified claims and unsubstantiated smears have also been published online. A spreadsheet listing 40 Tory MPs accused of inappropriate conduct was released to journalists. And after it found its way onto social media, the Justice Minister Dominic Raab felt he had no option but to speak out.
I've got no idea about the truth of the various things that are on that list of 40. Some seem to range from very serious accusations, others seem salacious gossip, but I can account for what's under my name. And the entry reads, injunction for inappropriate behaviour with a woman. Well, I've never been served with any injunction. I've never sought an injunction. I've never done anything amounting to sexual harassment, sexual abuse or anything of that nature. I don't think you'd be able to find anyone who I've said a lewd remark to, whether it's a parliamentary colleague or a member of staff.
Nevertheless, many MPs, including Labor's Yvette Cooper, agree there's a cultural problem at Westminster that must change.
The most important thing is to change the culture and to end a culture of entitlement by some older men who think that they just have a right to prey on younger women or men that they have a power relationship with. It's an abuse of power and it has to stop.
As in Hollywood, nobody knows how far these allegations will spread, but there's optimism too that behaviour once accepted as normal is finally being exposed.
Anne Barker reporting.